How are you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the Polkabridge Launchpad, and we're also going to dive into the ecosystem a little bit. So if you want to learn more about the Polkabridge Launchpad, if it could be profitable for you, how to use the Launchpad, and all of the bullish opportunities that I can already see in this, then you're going to want to stay tuned for this video. So definitely stick around and I will see you guys after the intro. All right, thank you so much for joining me again today. I'm very excited to get into this. Before we get started with Polkabridge, however, please make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to note down I'm not a financial advisor, so perform your own due diligence and also your own research, strictly for educational purposes only this video. All right, let's get started. It is 2022 and Polkabridge is still around. Now, what is it? Polkabridge is a big ecosystem where you can stake, you can farm. They have their own launch pad. They do NFT offerings. You can swap, and it all happens on the Polkabridge platform on Polkadot. Now that means low transaction fees, high scalability, and in my opinion, just overall better than Ethereum. But even if you don't think it's better than Ethereum, everyone is at least to a certain extent bullish on Polkadot because it's a very good chain. Now, the launchpad that Polkabridge has is fully cross-chain and decentralized, meaning that the community is deciding and the investors is deciding what happens and what doesn't happen. There's no government in between, making the transactions fully verified by the community and by its investors, making it very interesting. And of course, they launch early crypto projects on all different chains, from a BSC Smart Chain to Astar to Ethereum and everything in between. So we're going to look at this. Use the timestamps below if you want to see certain things. We're going to get started, however, with the tiered system, as that is one of the most important aspects of a launchpad. So we did not find it on the website. Over on their Medium, however, I was pretty quick to find the tiered system. It's all the way from 2021 though. If you look over at their Medium, I was not able to find a new tiered system, and they still have this tiered system pinned, so I assume that this is still what it is. So they have 3 tiers. Obviously, you will need to stake the amount associated with a tier in order to obtain that tier. That will then give you a percentage of allocation, which is essentially how much you will be able to participate and invest into the projects that are launching on Polkabridge. So pretty straightforward, a tiered system. Almost every launchpad uses a tiered system, and there's nothing wrong with a tiered system. In fact, I kind of like the setup. Now, how much do you pay exactly for each tier? Let's get into that right now. So the minimum amount needed is 10,000 PBR. That is tier 1. So if we move over to the price, we can see that it's currently going for 15 cents. So that will be a calculation of 10,000. And we will do that times 15 cents, and that will bring us to a price of $1,500 for the first tier and the first guaranteed allocation. So that is, relatively speaking, quite expensive. Obviously, if we compare it to, let's say, Seedify or DAO Maker, we are seeing that it's actually very cheap, but we can obviously tell that this is not a tier 3 launchpad. The tiers are expensive. There's a lot of holders and there's a lot of projects. So the price, even in the bear market, is relatively high. Now, if we move over to the most expensive tier, which is from 30,000 PBR or above, we can see that this is way more expensive, times 15 cents. And there you go, 4.5K for the most expensive tier available on Polkabridge. And obviously during the bull market, when the price was up to $2, people literally paid tens of thousands of US dollars to achieve these tiers. So right now, relatively cheap compared to what it used to be in the past, which could be a good opportunity to get into and get that tier. If you do feel bullish on this launchpad, get the tier now while it's cheap and profit when the bull market hits and the projects get bullish again. And that is, of course, one thing that is possible to do. But again, it's no financial advice. Make your own decisions on that. Moving a little bit down on this article, we can see here the minimum amount to stake is 10,000 PBR tokens and must be staked at least 1 day before the IDO takes place. And yeah, you will get 30% of the allocation with tier 3 and 40% allocation. Look at this. So the more you stake, the smaller your allocation percentage becomes, which is interesting. Look at this. Stake at least 10,000 PBR to join the IDO, and you will get a 40% allocation. And with tier 3, you stake 30,000, and you will get only an allocation of 30. So interesting. I'm not quite sure what they mean by that. Let's look over here. If you stake at least 10,000 PBR and up to 19.999 PBR, you will participate in sharing 40% of the total IDO allocations. You will participate in sharing 40%. Okay, so tier 3, you will participate, a little mistake here. There should be a Y here. Will participate in sharing 30% of the total IDO allocation. Right, so the percentages show how many other investors you're going to be sharing the allocation with, and that is a little bit different than other launchpads do it. And of course, a little grammar mistake here as well. So, okay, so on this thus far, that's the tiered system as of late. So we're going to move forward to all of the utility on the website. After that, we're going to move over to the white paper and the token. So stay tuned for that. And let's get into actually the token first, as I feel like that might be more interesting. So the token right now at 15 cents, it recently got a big pump with 36%. Also, the volume spiked up with 162. Everything went up. So on the global chart, it's barely noticeable. But if we move over to the monthly chart, we can see this big pump right now happening with Polkabridge. And the price went from below 10 cents to 15 cents. So, big holders made a lot of cash just right now. I mean, look at this. And Polkabridge has shown to do this more often. Other big spikes in the price have been detected before. And again, here, the price was only 4 cents and it spiked up to 8. Then it went down a little bit again. And now we are seeing again this big push. Now, on the global chart, we can see other pushes just like this, even bigger ones. So Polkabridge has shown to be very resilient. Every time the market pushes itself down, Polkabridge has a tendency of getting back up, and that is huge. It shows that they're not just a one-day shot. It shows that they're not just there temporarily. It shows that they're here to stay. When the prices in the market go down, when the sentiment turns bearish, they're there and they climb back up, and that is really bullish. That's what I'm looking for in a project, to see if the price is stable and bounces back. That is a good investment opportunity. And also, if we just look at the sentiment on CoinMarketCap, we can see that everyone is super bullish on this project. Amazing project, very nice. Let's get it to $10. Everyone is just super hyped, and they have a lot of feedback as well. So the Launchpad is doing amazing. Right now it has over 126,000 people on its wish list. It's ranking at 805. So it's definitely a big Launchpad with a lot of potential. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's get started looking at all of the utility that they have, that they provide on their Launchpad, to see what you can actually do with the tokens after you bought them, and to see if there is enough utility on the Launchpad to keep the price of the tokens nice and high. So let's dive into that. All right, let's see here. So the first utility we see here is farming. So we see here PBR statistics. You can buy them now, and you can start farming. So here we see PBR to ETH, deposit PBR ETH, LP, and earn PBR. So this is a way of earning passive income with a multiplier of 40x and an APY of 45. Now, usually I stay away from farming, usually because Launchpad prices tend to just ever just move downwards, right? If you see most launchpads, they have a big spike at TGE, they go down and they stay down. So no matter how much you stake, no matter how much you farm, the token is always devaluating and you'll never make back your money. But with Polkabridge, what we see is that you can earn money passively while staking, but also earn money on your holdings as the price goes up. So there is a lot of opportunities within Polkabridge, and the farming and the staking is actually interesting because the price doesn't endlessly devaluate and frequently pushes back up. So that is an interesting investment opportunity. And if we move over to the staking utility, that is of course what we're going to have to do in order to get a tier and participate, but you will also get staking rewards, which will essentially be in the form of a small compensation for depending on how many and how long you stake your tokens. Of course, the main reason for staking is to participate, but that is also a good bonus. So you can buy the PBR over there right away after you connected your wallet. And here are pools. These are ended, but here's an active pool. You'll be able to, let's see, we connect our wallet, MetaMask. Let me just connect this real quick. So I unlock all of the active pools. And here you can, let's see, approve, and you can buy, and then you can just start staking. The APY is really high. Look at this, 63%, 82%, and 74%. You can see the total value that is currently being staked and the total claimed as well. So they're being very transparent about their staking pools. The UI is very easy, and you can even see all of the pools that already ended. And yeah, it's just very easy to go ahead and stake your tokens to earn passive income on the tokens you hold, participate in the IDOs. And of course, what it means when you stake is that you will not be able to unlock or withdraw your tokens for a set amount of time. So, if the price was to pump like it did over here, you will not be able to sell your tokens at a profit. But of course, in return, you will get staking rewards, and with a bit of luck, the price will stay high. And when you're done staking, you can always sell it later at a profit. I mean, if you bought your tokens here at 726 and you staked for a month, you'll be able to sell your tokens at a profit, plus your staking rewards, plus you will have been able to participate in the IDOs. And if you also made profit over there, well, let's just put it like this, lots and lots of investment opportunities available on Polkabridge and lots of utility as well. So that's it for the staking and the farming. Then let's move over to the actual projects. What is Polkabridge offering in terms of their actual launches? Now, we see projects which are IDOs and IGOs, but we're also seeing NFT offerings, which are INOs. Now, the NFT offerings, of course, if you're big on NFTs, this is totally something for you. You'll be able to invest in early NFT projects. As we can see, they don't have any upcoming pools as of right now. They have launched projects before though. We see Fota Heroes, Shufi NFTs, Ancient Kingdom NFTs. They also launched their own project, the Polkabridge Peace NFTs. And we can see all of the information over here as well. The total NFTs on sale, the remaining quantity, the start date, and the price, and the network. You can click on any of the projects to get even more information. Now, we're going to do that real quick and see how that looks. So you see here the NFT utility and the rules, and then the packages that they had for sale. So for instance here, take a smarter approach by purchasing the mystery box from our INO at the bargain price and increasing your chances of unlocking a higher level VIP maps. So you'll be able to buy these NFTs for a low price as it is a NFT offering. So again, when you are big on NFTs, when you're big on Polkabridge, then this is an amazing way to invest in early NFT projects. Now, again, the UI UX design is very simple. It's very easy to understand. Here you also have a button saying My Purchases, and there you will have all of your purchase history. Clearly, I don't have any of those. But yeah, those are the INOs. Again, currently, no pools. We are in a bear market, so it is understandable that maybe they don't have projects going on all the time. Check it out for yourself. Do they have projects now? If they still don't have any projects, then it could be a small red flag, because again, if the Launchpad doesn't have any INOs or IGOs or IDOs launching, then the utility of the token goes down. Now again, Polkabridge does have this entire ecosystem basically supporting the utility of the token, keeping the price high, so that is good. But again, a big part of the utility of the token still is the launches. So if there's no launches, then that could indicate a drop in price. All right, so that is it for the INOs. Now let's move over to the actual launches. We do have 3 upcoming pools, meaning that they have been working on new launches and new projects, which is good. We currently don't have any live projects, meaning that as of right now, you will not be able to participate in any launches. As we can see over here, Me Music, Spume, and Spurious Finance, but all of these are to be announced. Me Music is to be announced. Spume is going to be at the 15th of August and Spurious Finance the 14th of August. The time of recording, that means it's over in a couple of days. And Me Music is still to be announced. Again, they're very transparent. I see here, the price, the ratio, the total funds, the network it's on, the assets, it's guaranteed allocation, and the date. You can register to get started or view if you want more information. So again, it's very, very simple. And we're going to look at the upcoming projects and if I think that they're bullish or not in a little bit. First, let's look at their older projects because the indication, the past is the best indication of the future, as I always say. So looking at how they performed in the past is important. And I did notice some not very bullish sentiments over on their projects. So let's look at this. Right, they've done a bunch of good projects, right? Gems, again, pretty interesting project. But let's take a look at this. So I've opened 4 projects that they launched on CoinMarketCap. Let's analyze what these projects did, and let's see if we find a pattern. This is one of their projects that they launched. It is called Kite1. It only has 257 people that have it on their watch list and a very low price. Now, as you can see, from the time it was launched in earlier 2022 until now, the price has completely dropped and flatlined short thereafter. So any vesting would have already made losses. There was a small amount at TGE, but I mean, you can never make profit with just this little spike and the price dropping right after that. So this was one project, right? But let's take a look at another one. We see here basically the exact same pattern. A decent TGE, but no profit available for its users as the price immediately dropped down. Now, they seem to be very bullish about this project for some reason, but this could easily have been botted as well because again, the volume is very low and the price is just very, very low. It immediately tanked. Looking at another project here, and we can see the same pattern. The price drops tremendously from TGE, so making it pretty impossible to make actual profits as, again, the TGE price immediately dropped down and there the investors were not able to make profits. Here, roughly the same pattern as well, very down from TGE. It did have a quick pump afterwards, but after that it immediately dropped too. So what we're seeing is a bit of a bearish sentiment in most of their projects thus far, and that is something that personally concerns me. I have looked at many of these projects and I have seen that a lot of these projects do have a TGE release, meaning that many of these investors before the token went all the way down and dropped did make some of their profits already, but it can never be enough to give them back their invested money, as throughout their entire vesting time they will have lost money. So I am very interested on how their newer launches are going to do. We're going to look at their upcoming launches now to see if I think that they will have the same pattern, yes or no. So without further ado, let's get into their upcoming projects, see if there's any investment opportunities there. Okay, so here we have their most recent project. We see Crypcade, Gems Esport, I'm still looking at the wrong ones. So Spume and Spurious Finance. So if we click on view, let's go to the most recent one, that is Spurious Finance. So we click on it, we get a bunch of information, a quick description of the project, the time it takes before the next launch, and all of the distribution information. So again, 20% at TGE and then 16% monthly. But again, if it has the same kind of pattern as the previous projects on Polkabridge, then even if you get 20% at TGE, right, you will make some profits over here maybe, and all of the linear vesting will be done at a big loss. So overall, you may have made some money on TGE, but you lose money on the rest of your vesting period. So what we are looking for, unless there's 100% release at TGE, is projects that over time grow or at least stay above the TGE price. And we're not seeing that overall happening at the prior projects. Now, again, this is a completely different project. So let's see if they have any links towards the website of Serious Finance. I don't think so. Maybe in Spume, View Explorer. So we have an Etherscan, but that is it. We're not finding any external links to the project. Oh, here it is. Okay, that was very difficult to find. So we do have links to their website and all that. Look at this. Looks pretty cool, actually. Redefining NFTs through decentralization. Okay, so isn't this like a INF, initial NFT offering? INF. I know. We see here we are launching Communitas, Fam Central, and Infinity Launch. Gem, Sphere, BSC Station. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad, actually. So pretty interesting project over here. Very transparent with all of the information right out there. Very pretty website. So yeah, we're really just gonna have to wait and see how that goes. Overall, Polkabridge has launched some very profitable projects as well. So there's definitely investment opportunities out there. If I had to give my own advice, Polkabridge launches a lot of projects, and you really have to do your own research and find out for yourself what projects on Polkabridge are profitable and what aren't. Blindly trusting Polkabridge, I wouldn't personally recommend it because they do have a lot of, well, almost junk IGOs that they put on there. So perform your own research, that's important. And if you do your research properly, there's definitely good investment opportunities over on this platform. Okay, so that is just about all for the utility on the on the Launchpad side of things. We see here an article on how to get started. Polkabridge launches Launchpad V2, the multi-chain universe mission. They do have a quick overview on how to actually get started. But then again, you know, we already went over this. It is quite simple. You stake your tokens, you get a tier, and then you participate in one of the upcoming projects. So we're not going to put too much time into that, but just know that they have a medium and you can look at that. We're going to look at this later on in the video. For now though, let's move over to their FAQ. It's a very small FAQ with very limited information available on here. We see here your minimum staking amount, 10K, and the participation type is going to be guaranteed allocation, and that's it. So very, very short FAQ. Would have loved to see more questions on here, such as is KYC required, yes or no, how to participate in the KYC, etc. So definitely lacking some basic information at their FAQ, but let's try and find it in their white paper instead in a little bit. For now though, looking at their Etherscan, we can see that they have more than 13,000 holders. For some reason, and I know the reason, I'll get into it in a bit, the amount of holders dropped by quite a bit. Around 100 people dropped their tokens. Why? Well, of course, the price pumped. So there were a lot of investors that were like, hey, I don't have my tokens staked right now. I can withdraw them. And that is exactly what they did. They withdraw their tokens for a quick buck, for some profit, and that is the drop that we can see here on the Etherscan. So nothing to worry about, has nothing to do with the Launchpad, it is just because the price pumped. Looking at the holders, we can see a lot of contracts holding most of the tokens. Over here, we start to get into the real investors, and you can see that we have a bunch of whales holding more than $20,000 worth of tokens. So definitely some big players over here on the Polkabridge Launchpad. Now you have to understand, these are not necessarily people all who are participating in the Polkabridge Launchpad. These are also people just using the Polkabridge ecosystem for their swapping, for their lending, maybe just for holding on to it and trading it. So not all of these people are participating in the launches, but I'm very sure that most of these big whales definitely, certainly are participating in the launches as well with a very large allocation because of how big they are in terms of investment. Okay, so and again, they just have an awful lot of holders. Despite a lot of people dumping their tokens for the pump, we still see more than 13,000 holders and more than 213,000 transfers. As you can see, the transfers happen many times every hour. So a very active on the chain overall. Now, looking at the white paper, it is from September 2021. So it is a little bit old already, but it is also version 3.00. It is the most recent white paper of Polkabridge that I was able to find. So let's look at the table of contents here. Automated market maker. We see here the tokenomics, the roadmap, and the PBR token, and the multi-chain launchpad. So that's what we're going to be looking at right now. Before anything else, let's take a look at the problem statement that they put out here. Decentralized finance, DeFi, is a rapid growing sector of the blockchain ecosystem and brings a lot of benefits to its users in market by offering vast improvements over traditional financial systems. Currently, decentralized applications, DApps, are mostly deployed on Ethereum. Polkadot is a blockchain protocol with a strong development team and has many advantages over Ethereum in terms of processing speed and scalability. How can users experience all DeFi applications on many platforms in one space? That is what Polkabridge was born for. Polkabridge is a decentralized all-in-one financial application platform. The Polkabridge ecosystem is expected to include multi-chain, it already does, so this is outdated, and cross-chain automated market maker AMM, farming, lending, fundraising platform, the Launchpad, predictions, NFTs, and more. All products will be developed under the Polkadot as the base. So very interesting ecosystem. Again, it's a fully 100% all-in-one financial system. Like they said, you'll be able to do a whole bunch of things over there, and that of course brings utility to the token, which increases demand, which increases the price, which makes it a good token to hold on to even during a bear market with bearish sentiment. So I like the white paper so far. They talk in very simple, basic terms, not too little text, not too much, very professional and very visual as well. So that is very good. Here they talk about the products that they have. Of course, the Polkabridge automated market maker is very, very big. An automated market maker is a liquidity aggregator and decentralized exchange, which allows for order matchmaking without using traditional order book. So again, for the Launchpad, that is not very relevant, but that is definitely one of the bigger USP for Polkabridge as a platform. So it is important to understand what it is and that they have it if you are to buy their token. Moving forward, we have more visual representations here on how that works. Cross-chain automated market maker, how do swaps operate, some calculations. Now these are mostly just disclaimers. They have to put this on the white paper legally. So if you're ever wondering why do we get these these things, it's mandatory. So that is why you are seeing them. All right, so let's see, what else do we have here? We see deflationary farming. Now, again, what is deflationary? That is essentially the practice of burning tokens to basically increase the value of the token by decreasing the supply of the token. Now, how are they going to do it? As you can see here, from the farmers, it's very difficult to see, but I'll zoom in a little bit. 99.5% will go to the receiver, 0.5% fee, 90% will go to the farmers, and 10% will be burned. So as you can see, the fee on every transfer will be able to be farmed, 90% will go to the farmer, and 10% will be burned as a deflationary mechanism. So pretty straightforward, easy to understand. Again, good visual representations, so that is very easy readable. And deflationary mechanisms, of course, keeping the price high artificially. But that is, if the only way to keep the token price high is a deflationary mechanism, then it's not good, because again, it is artificially holding the price high. But in the case of Polkabridge, because they also have an entire ecosystem, active launches and token utility, a deflationary mechanism will not be the pillar of the price of the token. It will just be an extra, which then makes it actually a positive. If it's the only thing they got, it's really bad. If it's an extra thing they have, it's really good. And Polkabridge has it as an extra. So that is good to note down. Here, more calculations, not important. I'll not waste your time on it. Multi-chain, yeah, we know it's multi-chain staking, multi-chain launchpad. They have lending and price predictions. Yep. Here we see the PPR token. The utility being rewards and farming. They do have governance. PBR holders have the right to vote and change parameters, features, and developmental, that's an interesting word, roadmaps of the Polkabridge ecosystem in the future. So they do give decentralized governance to the token holders. You also have lending fees and of course the Launchpad utility. So a lot of utility to the token, as I recently stated already. And that is, I'm very bullish on that. I feel like that is very, very important for any ecosystem and the Launchpad. They talk about their security, smart contract audits, the monitoring system, testing, etc. Just the basic, protection measures are taken on Polkabridge to keep the platform and its investors nice and safe. Then here we have the tokenomics, 10% for initial liquidity, 20% for the public sale, 30% for the ecosystem, 20% for the team, and 20% for the marketing. Okay, and then the total supply being 100 million. The public sale IDO, 20%. Public sale tokens will be unlocked right after listing on Uniswap. Tokens that are not sold in the pre-sale will be burned. Okay, so another deflationary mechanism there. Initial Uniswap liquidity, 10%. After the pre-sale, PBR will be listed on Uniswap for trading. Okay, now let's see if we can find, oh no. Okay, so we have one of those vesting schedules where they put it in a graph. Practically impossible to read, so we're going to do our best. Let's look at the team. That's the purple one. I assume that's the one up here. So that is a 4-month lock period. Then it looks like linear vesting over 2 years or so. So that is fine. And the rest have pretty high TGE unlocks. The public sale, of course, being the biggest one. Okay, yeah, very hard to read in a graph. I would have loved it to be on written down as well. I don't like vesting graphs at all. So if you're watching Polkabridge, now you know. For the rest though, here we have the roadmap. The roadmap starting all the way back from 2020, as this platform is already a little bit older, going all the way down to 2022 Q2. So let's start at the beginning. Roadmap 2020 Q3 was all about research. They performed their research. After that, it was about the team and the tokenomics. So they did their team forming, project brainstorming, and they designed their tokenomics, that would be funny, and the token. Then Q1 2021 was listing and farming. They developed their smart contract. They listed on Uniswap. The farming was live and they completed their white paper. So very eventful. Q2, multi-chain launchpad and multi-chain staking. AMM, this is in Q3 of 2021. They worked on their multi-chain and they expanded their listings and they expanded to the Polygon ecosystem. Then here in 2021, we see the Polkadot integration. Q1 2022, we see cross-chain AMM, launching cross-chain AMM. So not a lot happened in Q1, only the launch of the cross-chain AMM. And then in Q2, new features, lending, prediction, TBD. So you can see that every single quarter, well, I mean, apart from Q1 2022, there are good, steady advancements being made, new utility being added to the platform and the token, new utility, mostly updates, making it more and more cross-chain and sustainable. So yeah, very sustainable roadmap thus far. Overall, it looks like they held true to their roadmap as well. I'm not seeing anything regarding Q3, but again, we only just started Q3 of 2022, and it's a white paper, so you cannot expect them to update it every week. So yeah, we're just gonna have to stay tuned for that. And then for the rest, we have a bunch of disclaimers. Overall, what do I think of the white paper? Very good, very professional. It's not too long, not too short. The text is perfect, and there's a good mixture of visual and just plain text. Of course, I would have loved to see the vesting schedule typed out instead of in a graph, but that's fine. And the tokenomics are looking good. I had a hard time reading the vesting schedule, but from what I could read, it was all looking pretty solid. So the white paper is a check. I really like how it looks. So with that out of the way, let's move over to their social media, their team, their LinkedIn, and the Medium. And then at the end of this video, my personal price prediction for Polkabridge. So let's dive in. Their Twitter currently at 170,000 followers. They are posting actively, doing community airdrops, AMAs, launching update videos, and of course, updating their community on their new projects. Now, seeing a Launchpad actively updating and posting is really good. What is even better is to see the massive amount of interaction that they have with their community. We can see here lots of actual real life people giving a actual thought out opinion. So let's read here. Right now, panic selling as little as possible is generally the right action to take. I suggest to pay closer attention. Basically, all fortunes are usually built during this kind of tough times. So the community is very engaged, and they get a lot of retweets and likes, and they just post an awful lot. And it's amazing, right, to see that. This is definitely a very good sign. It shows that there is a community, it shows that there's a positive community, and it shows that Polkabridge is busy every single day, not just updating and giving new launches, but also interacting with the community, right? That is really putting the crowd into crowdfunding, and a lot of launchpads nowadays just kind of neglect it, especially during the bear market. Polkabridge does not, and I'm very glad to see it. Overall, just a good Twitter, good engagement, good activity, and definitely would recommend you follow it if you are to invest in it, as they will keep you fully up to date of all of the projects launching on Polkabridge. All right, that's it for the Twitter. Let's now move into their LinkedIn. I'm very excited for this one. So as per usual, a very international team. They do have a LinkedIn. I didn't see their team docs on their website or their white paper, but again, they have a LinkedIn page, so they are doxed. As you can see here, they're from India, Canada, basically just all over the place. We have someone from Turkey. Now let's see if we can actually find the CEO. This is a growth marketer, content writer, design lead. Let's see, Web3 community manager, UX UI, marketing manager, business development, blockchain lead. What is that? Oh, it's a private account, so I cannot look at it. So I don't see any CEO or COO or CFO, nothing like that. And the one account that looked like they might be in charge, blockchain lead, has a private LinkedIn that I cannot access. So are they doxed? Kind of. I mean, they have a LinkedIn profile and they have profile pictures and their name, their full name. So I would say they're 50-50 docs. I don't know who the owner is, and I don't have a clear, elaborate, informative A4 about who the team is, but they do have a LinkedIn page. So I would say 50%. It's not good, but it's not bad either. At least they have a LinkedIn page. But again, the more doxed a team is, the better and the more secure for its investors. Overall, though, we can see that it only has 82 followers, so it's not even that big. They do post a lot of updates over here. This was just 3 days ago, a walkthrough with Polkabridge, so quite active indeed. And of course, that is good to see with both the Twitter and the LinkedIn. Moving over to their Medium, also here they do post actively, mostly about their updates, but also about new IDOs and stuff like that, launching and listing, tutorials as well. So here again, the tiered system, Launchpad multi-chain AMM, hold PBR token and earn incentive programs, updates, and all that juicy stuff. Definitely several articles every month. I've read through some of the articles, they're high quality. So again, if you do feel like wanting to invest in Polkabridge, follow them on their Medium and their Twitter, as good value is being provided there. Overall, yeah, the Medium is good and solid. They have 6.6 thousand followers and they post quite regularly. All right, you guys, so that was just about it about Polkabridge. If we look at their ecosystem, we can see that it is, well, quite the same as the Launchpad. They do also have a lending platform, but overall it's not very important for the Launchpad side of things. So definitely perform your own research and take a look at what it is right now. As for my own personal price prediction, I think when the bull run hits, Polkabridge will have another all-time high. I think it's going to go very, very bullish. Although they do have some, small red flags that they have to work on, it does look like a good company and I am quite bullish on it. So I will return back to it. I think results can be very, very bullish on this one. So we're going to take a look at it later down the line and see if my predictions were right. For now, however, thank you guys so much for tuning in again. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget that like. All right, you guys, see you all in the next one. Ciao, ciao.